Hey guys, how's it going? Ryan Novak here. I'm making this video for my Intro to Music Technology class, and today I'm going to be showing you how to longboard. Okay, first things first, in order to longboard, you're going to need your own longboard. Maybe you can borrow from a friend or a family member, but I went ahead and bought my own off Amazon. I got the brand of Retrospect. It's about $60. It came with some pretty cool green wheels. It's got Canadian pine. It tells you all this stuff in the description. And it's got some pretty cool floral leaves in the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to learn a little bit about the longboard and what the parts are to it. Okay, so some of you may know a longboard is very similar to a skateboard. It's just longer, a little bit easier to balance, and it's got some wider wheels. So when you first get your longboard, you're going to have these screws, and on the bottom you're going to have some bolts and everything. There's some right here too, the bigger ones. These bolts pretty much either limit or allow you to turn on a radius which will bend the board back and forth a little bit more. So you can kind of see how you can just bend it a little bit. In order to do that, you have to either tighten or loosen this bolt here. So tightening or loosen this bolt, tightening it restricts the amount of turn you have and flex in the board. But if you loosen it, it gives you more flex and a lot of leeway to turn the board at greater differences. So now that you know about the longboard itself, let's get into proper stances and standing on the board. Okay, so when standing on the board can face front or backwards. It doesn't really matter which way. It's gonna roll forward and backwards either way you go. But what you wanna do is you wanna get used to standing either strict or goofy. And what that means is that if you're standing strict, let's say your dominant side is your right side. You're right-handed when you're right and you kick a ball with your right foot. That means that you want to put your left foot, which is here, on the front of the board, and you want to keep your right foot off the board so you can continue to kick and push and give you more speed. So now, knowing that if you are a right-handed person, goofy is the opposite. Goofy means that instead of putting your left foot on the board, you're going to go ahead and you're going to switch sides and you're going to put your right foot on the board. This means that all your force and speed is going to come from your left foot instead of your right. So now that you have down whether you're goofy or strict, let's go ahead and you can stand on the board. So staying on the board, you're gonna see a little bit of movement. What you wanna do is you wanna push off with the foot and kind of stabilize yourself. It's gonna be kind of wobbly back and forth, but you're just gonna get used to that throughout practice. Okay, so now that you have your balance properly figured out and the way you wanna stand on your board, go ahead, stand on your board, and either just roll back and forth, not like I just sit there for a second, but either roll back and forth like this for a minute, just so you can get used to the balancing, or have a friend or a sibling or maybe even a roommate for some on college campus just give you a push and kind of get the feel for riding longboard and keeping your balance. Okay, so after getting used to kind of riding on your longboard a little bit, let's go ahead and start with the kick. So what you want to do is you want to place your foot directly in the middle, towards the front some more, perpendicular to the way your other foot is going to stand on the board. Getting ready to kick off, you want to have somewhat of a bent knee on the knee that's on the board, and you just want to kind of push off and real quick place your foot on the board that you kicked off with. Able to kick off for the first time, continue to try and just ride your board just a little bit, one kick at a time. It's going to get kind of scary, and at the end hopefully you'll be used to it and you'll be able to kick maybe more than once at a time without having to stop. Now, after you learn how to kick off and everything and you can ride your longboard for a couple feet without having to stop, I just want to let you know that one of the hardest things is overcoming the fear of falling or tripping or anything like that. Obviously, you're gonna fall a few times and you're gonna trip up. You're gonna hit a rock or a pebble in the sidewalk or the road, wherever you're riding. And it's gonna mess you up. You're gonna fall and you're gonna be okay. Just keep on getting up and redoing whatever you're doing to make yourself a better longboarder. So now that you have some motivation to keep on going after you maybe fell a few times, we're gonna teach you how to turn on your board. So turning on your board is as simple as leaning your feet one way or the other. Okay, the next step is learning how to turn. And this is the pathway I'm going to take you down. So real quick before we start turning, one thing you want to do is you want to place your foot on the board and you want to place your back foot on after you kick. And notice how this foot on the back side, the one you push off with, can turn a little bit easier than this front one. That's because this front one has limited access. You can't really turn your ankle that far without rolling it. So what you want to do after you kick off and you're going at a decent speed is you want to turn your foot like this so you're able to turn with both feet. That gives you a greater ability to turn differently. So now I'm going to teach you how to turn towards your back side. This is obviously one of the hardest sides for a lot of people, but sometimes it can also be the easiest side. Okay, so when turning towards the back, you're going to want to place your foot on the board like you're going to ride it. You're going to put your foot on. You're going to turn your foot this way, the front foot this way. So what you're going to do after that is, in order to turn backwards, you're going to lean your feet backwards as if you're sort of doing reverse heel raisers. So heel raisers are what you're going to do when you're trying to turn towards the front. Your heels raise up, but your toes point downwards. When you go backwards, your heels are pointing down and your toes are going upwards. All right, there you go. That's how you learn how to longboard. There's obviously many more videos on YouTube that can teach you how to longboard. You can look them up on Google. Better ways to stay balanced and ways to turn. I may not have made it clear enough, but leave a like, possibly subscribe. Let me know what I can do better next time to make it more clear. Thanks.
Different doesn't mean